Hey everybody, my name is Jessica Kelton. I'm the REA with Farm and Agribusiness Management Team with Alabama Cooperative Extension. Just wanted to talk a little bit about our 2017 wheat outlook and give just a little bit of an update on cotton and peanuts since we're right in the middle of harvest. So going into 2017, we knew that our wheat production was going to be down quite a bit. Our wheat production total was 1.74 billion bushels. That's a pretty big drop from 2016. As most of that is our winter wheat production, we're at 1.29 billion bushels. Our spring wheat for 2017 was down. Not only did we plant fewer acres, but we did have a drought in that area, the Midwest. That was primarily our spring wheat producers. So we did see a drop there. And just to give you a better picture of how much our wheat production has dropped in the past few years, here's our winter wheat acres in the United States. You can see since like 2013, we've kind of dropped down in the planted acres, a steady decline, and then 2017, we really dropped down to about 33 million acres. A lot of that's not going to be harvested. So one of the things we've seen with that production dropping is our prices for wheat have come up a little bit in 2017. I looked at our prices this morning, and we're right at like 4.6. Right now, we don't see anything that we're going to have prices increase. And the major reason we have that, where our prices are kind of suppressed, is yes, our production for the United States has dropped lately, but overall, our global ending stocks continue to increase. We've not seen a decline in the production worldwide, and we are not one of the major producers in wheat like we would be in corn. So even though our numbers keep dropping, production around the world continues to increase. So our ending stocks are high, so we haven't seen a rebound in our prices too much. What can we expect for 2017? Europe and Australia production has been down, but one of those things that's been offset is Russia. Russia continues to increase their production rate. I think the WASDE report for October adjusted their production to 82 million tons, and that's up from, I think the last projection was 72 million or something close to that. So it continues to increase. Not only that, but the weather in Russia is expected to be pretty favorable for wheat production again. So we'll probably see an increase again for Russia. So that offsets any reductions in some of the other countries. For us, what do we expect to see for winter wheat production? We talked to David Zierden out of Florida, the meteorologist. He's expecting us, conditions are favorable for La Nina. I think a 55 to 60% chance of going into La Nina. So that means for most of Alabama, I think most of that from Birmingham south is expected to have warmer, drier conditions. I know for wheat production, dry conditions can kind of reduce disease problems, but getting it into the ground and having enough soil moisture to get that wheat stand up could be an issue for us. But so that's what we expect. I don't think prices are going to change anytime soon. It would be nice to see them go over $5, but it doesn't look like anybody is expecting to see that anytime soon. So just after talking a little bit about wheat, let me talk about peanuts and cotton, since we are in the thick of harvest. I know the last time I looked at numbers for peanuts, we're a little behind on harvest. Last week, I think they were saying overall in the peanut producing states, we're at 61% harvested. Last year around this time, it was 69%. So we are a little behind, but the majority of states are saying that their peanut crops are looking really good. I know in Georgia, they said that dryland peanut yields were a little higher than they expected. The irrigated may be off just a little bit, but I know for Alabama, our crops look decent. Our peanut acres total for the peanut producing states is up quite a bit from 2016. We're at like 1.9 million acres, and so it's a pretty big jump from 2016. And what do we expect to see right now? They're expecting an average yield over 2 tons. And that may be adjusted a little higher depending on what it looks like at the as we get through with harvest with everybody expecting to see a little bit better yields than they were expecting going into it. Right now, we're projected for 3.89 million tons of peanuts, and the issue we have is we have 3.77 million tons of warehouse capacity. I looked at some of the numbers out of Georgia, the end of September. The one good thing is Alabama is not one of the states showing a shortfall in capacity in their warehouses, but overall we are at could be an issue for storage. And the last time we had concerns over that really dropped the price. So I think everybody's kind of expecting that we'll see lower prices going into next year just because of that concern of the warehouse capacity. We have had a slight increase in use here domestically, and our exports are still pretty strong. I think they're kind of flat. I don't think they're increasing, but they're holding. And so that is a good thing. Maybe we can kind of use up some of that that we have on hand, but not enough to make up for the shortfall in storage capacity. So I think maybe we'll have a better better idea of what's going on once we finish up harvest. But it is, I think it's moving just a little slower than it has last year. So, but it kind of remains to be seen how much we actually do produce. As far as cotton, this is the WASDE report. Now, September's WASDE report that came out, people were not very happy with that for cotton because it did not take into consideration any damage from hurricanes. So our production was not adjusted down for hurricane loss over in Texas especially. So the prices did drop a little bit after that WASDE report came out. So October 12th, the WASDE report did come back with adjusted numbers for cotton. They adjusted down from 21.76 million bales to 21.12. So I think there's like a 600,000 bale reduction in production. Now, I know Don Shirley over from Georgia thought this was kind of on the conservative side. We may actually see a little more loss. They did adjust the yield for, I think, 7 states, expected to be a little lower than they were actually projecting in September. But if you look on here, you can see Alabama's yield, their September estimates was 953 pounds, but they actually adjusted that back up for October, 976 pounds average yield expected. But you can see Texas was adjusted a little lower, and Georgia was adjusted by about 100 pounds expected average yield. So as far as demand and use for cotton, one of the bright sides of this for global use is, in the past, China had quite a bit of stocks on hand, and so our exports had kind of decreased because China, one of the largest users, was not importing as much. You can kind of see here since 2014, their production has dropped and their use continues to hold. So you see that black line is the use and then their production. So they are going to be forced to have to import some. And right now, the U.S. holds about 38% of the market share. That's 14.4 million bales of for the exports. Now, 2015 was a lot lower than that. 2016, we saw a pretty big jump in exports. I think a lot of that was because of the quality of our cotton last year, that we really had a lot of people importing because we had that good quality. So right now we do hold quite a bit of the market share. The only other problem we have with that is Australia, Brazil, and India have increased their exports. Our demand is up just a little bit for cotton from last year. The last I saw, another economist was saying that 68 cents in the near future is probably where we're going to be at. If we have an increase in demand, or if we see some increased exports, that would be nice. It might improve our price, but right now I think 68 cents is kind of where we're going to hold. It will be interesting to see next year if we have the issues with peanuts, how many acres go into cotton. I don't know if that will affect how much cotton production we have next year, so I think that's kind of one thing we should keep an eye on for next year. But I think hopefully we'll kind of get some new numbers from USDA as harvest is wrapped up and kind of see where we stand at going into 2018. So, but that's all I got for right now. If you have any questions, you can give me a call on my cell phone. That's the easiest way to get me, or you can shoot me an email. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it back over to you now, Trey.